Hey guys, welcome to Poo Poo Park. So I will be reviewing what Palileo Parks has built in the previous episode. And also, my bad guys, I kind of forgot to record the first episode. So Palileo Parks has built a poop museum, and it looks like the poop is made out of rocks. And then another thing is that he has built an ornithomimus enclosure with beautiful fencing and substitution of using modular building with rocks to create a fence. So in today's video, I'll be creating a Giganotosaurus enclosure with an offspring. So I'm starting off with a waterfall and then like a little hill or mountain around the water. I'm putting a log viewing gallery and I'm trying to hide the ends of it because I think I really like it like that. But I look how I placed it, and then I was like, I don't really like it like that. So I decided to change it a little bit. So then I put trees at the end, and I put some foliage right there. I don't know why. I just felt like it and stuff. So yeah, I added kind of a bush right there. And then, so I'm making that enclosure like elevated a little bit, but like with like some elevation and slopes and stuff. And I'm adding rocks to like create like a barrier to like the enclosure and like the upper part of the park. I'm adding rocks to the waterfall edges to make it look more realistic and like more detailed and natural. And then like there's water lilies or something like that inside of the water. So now I'm placing the nest. I'm trying to find like a good spot to place the nest and like to cover up the back of the nest. And yeah, so I'm adding viewing galleries now. And then I curved the fence because I didn't want the fence to be just straight. And then so I tried to test out if I could add the viewing dome on top of the rock. Like it would be really cool if you could do that. But yeah, so I started adding a line of viewing galleries. And then I wanted to change the placement of the nest. So I changed the placement of the nest and changed like some of the area and added more rocks with the rock brush. I used the dirt texture paint over there to create it as like more of a homey or like a barren, something like close to like that for the Giganotosaurus and stuff. And then so I went to synthesize the Gigas. I don't really like the regular the base Jurassic Evolution Giga. So I use the Jurassic World Dominion Giga. And yeah, so I'm starting to do the path, but I'm talking too much, so I'm going to give you guys a break from my voice. So I made this viewing gallery thing in sandbox for like smaller dinosaurs. And then so I'm making this for the Humalocephalae. And then yeah. And I'm trying to find like a water trout, but I can't really find one. Like I didn't really find one in my search. So I just leave that, and then I decided to break the fence, have like an open viewing part into the Giganotosaurus enclosure for the Humalocephalae. I don't know why I did that. I low-key was just freeballing at this point. So I add some mud and stuff over there. And then at this point, I start trying to fill the Giganotosaurus' needs and stuff by adding the foliage they want, the meat, and then I breed them. I did the scientist breeding program. And now I'm doing the path a lot more because I don't want it to be ugly. And right here, I used the multiple wall pieces to make kind of a miniature garden, And then so I used dirt. I wish this biome had just a brown dirt. I don't really like the color of this dirt. So then I add some cherry blossoms and then just alpine trees. And then some rocks, to make it look like maybe like a functional garden or something, like a natural garden. And then so I use path to shape it around. And then now I'm adding a hotel to look at the view of the lake down the steep mountain, or whatever anybody would like to call it. And then so I'm just trying to get the hang of, like trying to fill in spaces and stuff. So then I try to fill in the gaps with path. And then now I'm thinking of what can I add more of. So I used the Jurassic World thing. And then here I try to see if I could fit an innovation center, but I can't. So I use like a regular attraction building. I haven't used that in a while. So I use a regular attraction building. And yeah. Right here I'm trying to fill in the gaps between the sort of like zoo enclosure and the path, because it looks ugly without it filled. So then now I add a zip line for guests to be able to get down to that area with the Giganotosaurus. And then I just decide, well, I don't like the entrance of the Jurassic World attraction, so I add a decoration. And then now I add a fountain right here. And then I add chairs and stuff for guests to sit by the garden. And then benches. And then I add like hangover stuff over there. And now let's get to the viewing part for the dinosaurs. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Poo Poo Park.